Hello, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Kee. We are live for another night of football. Another World Cup qualifier. We've got Senegal against Sudan tonight. It's a big one, this, actually. I didn't quite realise, I have to say, I didn't quite appreciate just how tight things were in the African World Cup qualifying group until I was alerted to it last night by Superstar, one of many in our chat, who said that you have to watch this game tonight, Kee. If you're going to watch any game tomorrow night, big Friday night game, you have to watch Senegal against Sudan because it's really, really tight in that group. So I had a look, and it was, and it's on. So if you want to watch along with me, you can watch it on FIFA Plus if you've got the FIFA Plus app, or you can watch it on the FIFA Plus website, whatever works for you. But you can watch this one totally for free. And yeah, looking forward to seeing it. Liam Manning, evening Key, how's it going, Liam? Taylor H.O., how's it going? Superstar, Shelley, good to see you. As always, Liam Manning, Wisser scored, did he really? Well, Isak's on the bench. Yeah, Alexander Isak is on the bench tonight. Right, yeah, so it's live tonight in Diamniadio, Senegal v Sudan. I'm watching Denmark versus Scotland. Nice. Thank you for the likes and the shares already, by the way. Really, really do appreciate it. Very, very kind of you. In 10 minutes' time, the game is live. Superstar, FIFA Plus was surprisingly a default app on my TV. Yeah, mine too. I didn't realise there was an app, to be honest. I thought it was just a... I thought it was just a website, but you're right. Yeah, it is the app as well. Shelley, come on Senegal and die. Ghana, please, don't get injured. Yeah, you could do without those getting injured. Pidge, Watford and BVB fan here. Love the stream. Pidge, love to see. That's fantastic. That was my nickname when I was a kid, that, funnily enough. When I was a baby. Because I used to make noises like a pigeon in me cot. There you go. Taylor, Key, what games you watching tomorrow? Up to now, the only one that I've booked in is Bristol Rovers away at Newport County. Paige, love your shirts. Do you have a Dortmund one? I don't have a Dortmund one. No, that's one of many German teams that I don't have. I've got a few German shirts, but no, I've not actually got a Bundesliga. Sorry, I've not actually got a Dortmund shirt. Sorry, no. But I like Dortmund a lot. Obviously, Liverpool fan, so Jurgen Klopp, we're kindred spirits, mate. But yes, I was going to say again, if you do want to watch this one tonight, make sure that you have the FIFA Plus app. You can watch it completely for free tonight. LG, what channel is Newport on? Newport's on Sky Sports tomorrow, 12:30 kickoff. Pidge, get the 97 Champions League shirt. Yeah, Klopp is worshipped at BVB. Yeah, well, there you go. Same with us, mate. But good to have you on the channel. Really is good to have you. Reese, apart from the international competitions, international games are so boring. Well, hopefully this one won't be tonight. Stop speaking it into existence, Reese. This is going to be brilliant. I've told... Stick with me, kid. We only have good games on this channel. Shelley... bless you. Bitch. I know. I did apparently when I was in my cot when I was a baby. I used to go, coo, coo. Don't know. There you go. Chimey, how's it going? Good to see you. Reese, apart from... Oh, we've done that one. Pidge. Tuchel will come good for England. I still don't like that. I still do not like us having a non-English manager. Doesn't feel right. I feel like it should be our best against their best. So I don't like that. It's not my thing. And it probably just contributes to the whole apathy I have around the English national team. I haven't really got any interest in England. I'll be watching them tomorrow night, by the way. They are on at 5 PM against Andorra. I'll watch them. We'll see how they get on. It'll be interesting. We'll have a chat. But nobody really cares, do they? Not in England, anyway. The level of patriotism in England has gone straight through the floor. Page, I see the point. Howe should get it after then. Yeah, Eddie Howe I think would have been a very, very solid choice. There's quite a few, to be honest. I think there's a number of English managers that would be considered decent enough, good quality English managers. And I mean, Southgate didn't do a terrible job. Some would say he did a fantastic job. Yeah, Potter. Yeah, a lot of time for Potter. Taxi for Potter. Superstar Sudan have never qualified for the World Cup and they don't have any players in European teams, but they've somehow managed to be in with a chance. If they do make it, it will be a huge achievement. You have to say, actually, yeah, I was looking at the group before, even if Sudan just get a draw tonight, it's actually a pretty good result for them, isn't it? Ollie Marley, why not Scotland? Why not Senegal? I don't know, why not? You've got to pick one, mate. You've got to pick one. Reece, get Nathan Jones for England, I say. Oh, I can't act Nathan Jones. Shelley, nope, should be an English manager. Absolutely, yeah, has to be an English manager. Jamal, the FA has buried patriotism. I'm livid with the Tuchel appointment. I'm boycotting 2026 World Cup. Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't know about boycotting it. I'll still watch it, but I'm watching it from the perspective of, like, I want to watch a bit of football, so I actually don't really care whether England do well in it or not. LG, except Sky Sports, where can you watch Newport game tomorrow? I don't know, mate. I really don't know. I would imagine you could watch it maybe like Now TV and places like that. I guess it's the same thing, isn't it? It's via Sky Sports, so yeah, there's those places, but I honestly don't know. Reece, would you question your support for Liverpool if they somehow appointed Nathan Jones? Yeah, probably. Probably, yeah. Holly, when you're doing the rest of the schedule, well, I'm going to have to do it tomorrow, aren't I? I'm going to have to do it at some point tomorrow because I've got Newport and Bristol Rovers and that's it, so I'm going to have to do it tomorrow morning. Superstar, I doubt England will do well next year. The vibe is very off. Well, have you heard the breaking news today? I thought this was really interesting. Breaking news today. Apparently, there's been like a split in the England camp, and Jude Bellingham and Joe Bellingham's dad has caused major issues within the England squad. Now, he's already seemed to alienate a lot within the Borussia Dortmund camp because apparently the Dortmund, you'll know this better than anyone, to be honest, won't you? You'll know this better than anyone, Pidge, because you're obviously a Dortmund fan. But apparently, at half-time in a Dortmund game recently, the manager took Joe Bellingham off. And Jude and Joe Bellingham's dad stormed down into the dressing room and had like a major kick-off at the manager. Which... think about that. Think about how that at half-time, that happening. And how was he even allowed in? But apparently it's like a major thing that, like, obviously Jude came through, Job's now there, and the Bellinghams, to a degree, have rule over the roost because they have produced and control and are the agents of their magnificent sons. So, yeah, they've got all this power and it's mad. It's absolutely mad. Swifty, who's on tonight, Kee? Tonight I'm watching Senegal against Sudan in the African World Cup qualifiers. Very, very good game. Take a look at it if you can. You can watch it for free on FIFA Plus, but you can also go to, if you go and take a look at the group before we start this game, it starts at 8 o'clock, but if you go and take a look at the group, then you'll see just how tight this is. Senegal actually have an outside chance of maybe not qualifying for the World Cup because they're not only not in the prime position at the top, Congo are at the top, they are not top, and they're also not one of the best second place teams. So the if they were to lose tonight, it would be dreadful. Even if they were to draw, it wouldn't be, an amazing result for Senegal, and they'd be one of the favourites coming out of Africa for sure. So yeah, Sudan never having qualified for the World Cup, it's a big opportunity for a giant killing maybe. So yeah, go and have a look at it. Lisha, I absolutely love how you've went live only 30 minutes prior to kickoff to your normal 1 hour, as you probably have no Scooby to talk about. No, it's nothing to do with that, mate. It's tonight. Yeah. Long story short, I've had some bits going on tonight, and I was normally planning to go live like an hour before, but I thought half an hour before should be more than sufficient. But I've had some bits going on. Swifty, Jude is arrogant and overrated. LG, what other games are you watching except Newport and England? Well, probably only one other. It's just the 3 o'clock game, which is still to be decided, I guess. I'm happy for you guys to influence me on the 3 o'clock game tomorrow, because I'm looking at them and thinking there's quite a few good ones there. I like the look of Huddersfield against Peterborough. Stockport away at Plymouth. Wigan away at Lincoln, I think, could be a really good one. Bradford away at Doncaster. All of these games, they're the ones that kind of like whetting my appetite the most. So if there's any at 3 o'clock tomorrow that you're thinking you might want to watch along with me, if you want to join me, let me know, put it in the chat. I'm happy to be swayed on it. All of the games tomorrow, by the way, for League 1 and League 2 are all live on Sky Sports Plus, so we can watch them all. And it's going to be a great day tomorrow. So I'll be live at 12:30 for Newport against Bristol Rovers. Then we'll do one of the 3 o'clocks. Then we'll do England v Andorra at 5. So we'll see. Montenegro 0, Czech Republic 1. There you go. Superstar. That won't help. That must be so embarrassing for the rest of the team. Well, yeah, exactly. It can't help. And apparently it has already caused like friction within the England squad, because allegedly he's done that in the English camp as well. Jamal, yep, heard the same. It was 2 weeks ago at a stadium in Hamburg. Wade, thoughts on Levy leaving? I think it's really harsh. I actually like Daniel Levy as a football operator. I don't understand why Spurs fans are so, harsh about him, to be honest. LG, how many points are they behind Congo? I think they're 4 points behind Congo, but they're level on points with Sudan. So if Sudan were to get a point tonight, there would be, I think, 3 games left. Am I right in saying that? I think there's 3 games left. And then, it's going to be I think it's going to be a good game anyway. Go and have a look at the group, by all means. Reese, he was signing the big Nike sponsorship. It is sufficient for a low-key game. Liverpool, Webbo, why not are you watching Denmark versus Scotland? I don't know. I mean, to be honest, most people just told me they wanted to watch this game tonight. Last night, you know me. If you've watched this channel before, if you're new to this channel, I'm pretty relaxed on what games we do. Even if I've scheduled a particular game and people in the chat say, "Oh, Kee, don't do that one. Do this one. It's going to be well better." I'm generally happy to change the ones we've got scheduled and watch something else if people want to watch it. So, I did originally have planned Denmark v Scotland tonight, but sufficient numbers of people in the chat said Senegal v Sudan, so that's what we're watching. So there you go. Influence the stream. Influence what games I watch. You can tell me. Let me know in the chat. Bailey Barbering, what team do you support, or just a neutral? I'm a Liverpool fan, Bailey. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I watch an awful lot of football from all around the world. We're watching the African World Cup qualifiers tonight. We're watching League 1, League 2 tomorrow. We watched the National League last night. Ireland against Luxembourg. We've watched all sorts, haven't we? Shelley, suggestion for 3 p.m, Wickham v Mansfield, but don't mind, we'll watch any. Wickham v Mansfield, yeah, that's not a bad shout. Yeah, Mansfield, one of my old teams, I guess, in terms of teams I used to follow quite regularly anyway. Key, what channel is this match on? It's on FIFA Plus. Yeah, so if you go to Google, you type in FIFA Plus, there's a whole litany of games that you can watch, to be honest. But you can watch this one tonight, Senegal. It's on live right now. So in fact, if you've got the FIFA Plus app, which you can get on the Fire Stick, I think, or you can get it on Apple TV or Smart TV, any of them at all. If you want to watch any of them at all, then we'll watch it. Swifty, Stags, the Stags, Reese. It's crazy that a £1.4 million transfer is the world record in women's football. Alex, Key, how are you? I'm good, mate. How are you? Yeah, good to see you. LG, what we saying? You don't have to install it. Well, you don't. It depends. Sometimes you do have to install it. It depends what you've got, I guess. Because I think I had to install it on mine. It wasn't immediately. Yeah, it wasn't immediately already built in. But you can get it on there. Jamal, yep, Clash, you can watch it for free. Be yourself, Dylan. Denmark, living dangerously. Webbo, can you get it on PlayStation? I assume so. If you can get it on... If your PlayStation qualifies as a smart TV thing, then yeah, I'm sure you can get it. Just Google that. Thomas, how's it going, Thomas? When do you think Isaac will start first, in your humble opinion? Start? Ooh. Start. I think he starts maybe Everton. Yeah, maybe Everton. Don't think he starts against Burnley. I think he'll be alright. Yeah, superstar, I just have done. Yeah, I honestly... Just don't even rise to it, but just immediately got rid of him. Superstar, I didn't realise Senegal had such a big stadium. They do, yeah, it is. It's a very majestic looking stadium. Have a look at it from the outside as well. It looks really cool. It was all lit up in green and yellow. Really cool. Have a look. So yeah, I think maybe Everton, he could be his first start, because I think he probably gets minutes off the bench against Burnley, maybe minutes off the bench against Atletico, and then a start in the derby against Everton. Isaac's on the bench. Really surprised the Sweden v Slovakia game isn't on TV. To be honest, I think if Isaac was starting, it might have been. Excuse me. Ollie Marley, where are you watching this game? It's on FIFA Plus, Ollie. Thomas, yeah, I was thinking maybe the Everton situation. Hope Eki still starts. I imagine he will, yeah. Surprise. Hope he starts against Everton. Well, let's look at the lineups for tonight, because we are 6 minutes away from kickoff here. So, lineups. I don't think we've got the lineups out, actually. Senegal, Sudan. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can get it on this, because I'm telling you this is doing my head in. Right. Do you know what? I think someone's having a barbecue next door here, because all I can hear is people going nuts outside. I'm tempted to go and knock on and say, any chance of a couple of koftas or a couple of kebabs? Send them your boys away. Come on, FIFA Plus, where you at? FIFA Plus, there you go. That's what we wanted. Any chance for the burger? Chili garlic sauce? Oh no, not chili garlic sauce. You're joking. Maybe garlic mayo. Could do with garlic mayo. But no more than that. What's going on here? Ukraine 0, France 1. Who scored it? Razine, hey mate, gotta say, Streets won't forget 23-24 pre-season Oriel Romeu. Aberdeen Mike. Oh, here we go, he's back again. Same fella. Reese, I found it. Need to watch my striker have another stinker of a game. Come on, Ukraine. Was it Elise who scored? Nice. Thomas, I have Eki, Gakpo, Isaac and Vert in my FPL team. Okay, so we're looking for Senegal v Sudan. There you go. Right, there you go. Awesome. We're actually on now. Mane also starts for Senegal. Does he really? I haven't been able to actually get the lineups yet. Oh, there you go. I've got him. Senegal is... no, Mendy doesn't start, according to this. Nor does Mane. No, apparently it's Yevan Diouf in goal. It's Abdoulaye Seck, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Pat Cisse, Lamine Camara. Nicholas Jackson does start, as does Iliman Ndiaye, Ishmael Jacobs, Sheikh Sabali, Antoine Mendy, and Mustafa Mbao, as well as Mori Diaw. For Sudan, I don't imagine you'll know many of them, but we'll say them anyway. Awad Zaid Gadin. Then there's Abdallah Mohammed, Musa Hussein, John Mano, Mohamed Dakna, Mohamed Adam, Mohamed Mahmoud, Mazin Al-Bali, Ahmed Yusuf, Mongid, Abu Zaid, Al-Jazoli Nu, and Ahmad Al-Sini. Sadio Mane is starting. So what is going on with that? What is that? What is that? Because that lineup, they're the subs. They're the subs. What are you on about? I've literally asked for the lineups and it's given me the subs. That's just made me look like a right knob. I've just read out the subs bench. What an absolute Fruit Loop. What an absolute Fruit Loop. I did just read out the subs, didn't I? The subs for both teams. Just in case anyone wanted them. Idiot. Alex Macklin, St. Helens play Wigan tonight. Do they really? Oh, no. Do you know what? My dad will be looking for that then. I bet he's, do you know what? I bet he's took my mum to a bar for that. Are they actually playing tonight? Super League, Saints, Wigan, they are, 8 o'clock. Oh, kicks off in 2 minutes. Come on, the Saints. I didn't even know that. Do you know what? I'm so glad I've not gone anywhere near St. Helens tonight because it would be chaos around that stadium. Ben says, Cherry and White, it's in my blood, ancient and loyal until we die. Right, Sudan. Coach, Nicolas Dupuis. Superstar, maybe we got a super sub goal and you'll be a genius. I know, odds are I have read out a goal scorer there with one of them. I've read out the full list of bench players for each team, so it's got to be a bench scorer today. It does look like a really nice stadium, that, doesn't it, actually? You're damn right. Jamal Elise, wow, was it a good goal? Do you know, every time I see Sadio Mane now, I just feel really sad. I just feel really, really sad. Because there's no way at all, he should never, ever, ever have left Liverpool. He thought the grass was greener and he went to Bayern. And he's just, you know, he's not in a good place now, is he? It's on Sky, St. Helens versus Wigan. I know we should. I mean, if this one's terrible, we might end up changing over and doing a Saints v Wigan watch along at some point. Liverpool Webbo, what's the capacity? Oh, it looks big. I don't know. What would we say the capacity is? I think you had a look before, didn't you, Superstar? Let's have a look. Right, well, we're off here anyway. Let me get the scoreboard going before I do anything else and start farting around with this. Stadium is Senegal Stadium. Capacity. It's 50,000. Yeah, 50,000 all-seater. Stade Abdoulaye Wade du Senegal. It's the biggest stadium in Senegal, I believe. Otherwise known as the Diamniadio Stadium. Taylor, Scotland's national anthem is something else. It's really good. Is it O Flower of Scotland that they sing at the footy? Ben, decent now that the Overlap and Goldbridge offer free Bundesliga footy. Well, again, not that I'm bitter, but, you know, I'd rather not. Superstar Wikipedia said 50,000. AJ Valdez, how's it going? What up? Razine, basically the context was the club announced the contract termination of Oriol Romeu. He was on loan at Girona last season. His contract was until 2026. Well, we've got a corner here, early doors. Senegal winning a corner straight away. Dante, how are you getting access to these games? FIFA Plus, Dante. Listen, Dante, you can insinuate like it's some sort of dodgy illegal thing, but I'm telling you, you can go and get... You would be surprised at how many games you can watch from around the world completely for free if you know where to look. And I'm not talking dodge streams either. I'm talking totally legitimate. Right now, if you go to FIFA Plus, I don't even think you have to register. You can go and search and you can go and watch all these African nations qualifiers completely for free. They're starting to suspect you, Kee. Oh no, they're on to me. It's honestly like you can. Don't get me wrong. You have to pay for a lot of football. You do have to pay for a lot of football, but it's not that much in my opinion. Anyway, DAZN is like 12, 13 quid a month, depending on what you're paying for Sky and BT. Obviously, that can be pricey, but you can get most football games for, I reckon, about 100 and something quid a month, including like all your Sky and everything, your internet and everything in. Probably talk about 100 quid a month, 120 maybe at a push. And that's with like your BT, your TNT, your DAZN, Premier Sports. What else do we subscribe to? Peacock as well. You can get Peacock quite cheap now. Yeah, well, yeah, Ben. Some people do. Some people do use the old dodgy stick, and that's their prerogative. But to be honest, the problem with the dodgy stick is half the time you'd end up with a dodgy stream, and it ends up you end up searching more time than you're actually watching. So yeah, if you've got the patience to do that, then it's probably worth doing. France's attack is disgustingly stacked. NUFC KS, hello mate, how's it going? LG says, what games are you... Oh, sorry, NUFC KS, game you're watching today. I am watching Senegal against Sudan in the African World Cup Qualifiers. Yeah, Senegal v Sudan. And what games am I thinking on Sunday? That's a good question. Game on Sunday. What should we watch? Because the 3 o'clock... The only game that I'm thinking is kind of up for debate tomorrow is the 3 o'clock. I've got some thoughts on it at the minute. I'm probably leaning towards maybe Plymouth and Stockport County, maybe Lincoln Wigan, Doncaster v Bradford City, possibly. Nah, that's probably the ones I'm going to watch. Any of them. And then England obviously is on 5 o'clock against Andorra. On Sunday, I think the obvious one is well, there's a few people asking me to do the derby, Liverpool v Everton women, on Sunday. So I don't know. Sadio Mane playing? Yeah, he is playing, mate. He is. He's on. Samoa Bob, good to see you again, man. Stockport game, do that. We will do the Stockport game, I'm thinking, on tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, 3 o'clock. I think Stockport against Plymouth is a good one, or rather Plymouth v Stockport, because Plymouth are all over the place at the minute, aren't they? Sadio Mane, still, look at all that. Look at the ability that guy's got. How did he get done for a foul? Yeah, so some people on Sunday have been asking me to watch Liverpool v Everton. That's a 12 o'clock kickoff. I don't know about that, to be honest. I'm still kind of umming and ahhing on that one. I might leave that and instead focus on the later games, which are... We could do Almeria against Racing Santander in La Liga 2. The Segunda Liga. We've not watched any of the Segunda Liga so far. So I might watch Almeria against Racing Santander. And if we watch that, then we could also watch Germany, Northern Ireland at 7:45 on Sunday night. Yeah, that could be a winner. Germany, Northern Ireland. Germany have got to bounce back. Watch a little bit of Florian Wirtz. So we'll do a bit of that. And then on Monday, we're back again to probably the African games. Or we can just stick with Belarus. We got Belarus v Scotland on Monday. Samoa Bob, watch the US v Korea game. What time's that on? That's got to be early doors, that one, US v Korea. I didn't even know US v Korea was on, to be honest. I know there's Haiti against Honduras and Trinidad against Curacao. Nicaragua against Costa Rica as well is another one. FM No Casuals. Mane, one of the most overrated footballers ever. Oh my God, how... Behave yourself. Don't talk nonsense. Mane was only ever half decent at Southampton. You're just trying to wind me up there. And it ain't working. I'll tell you what, we're not getting an immense number of views for this one, but it is enjoyable if nothing else. Superstar Mane is underrated, not overrated. I agree. I actually think Mane is grossly underrated. Samoa Bob, 2 p.m. Pacific. Not sure for English time. I think it would be about between 5 and 7 hours earlier, so it might be. It's 2 p.m. Pacific, so it might be like 9 p.m. maybe our time. Yeah, maybe. Greece 3-0 up. Mane was massively in the shadow of Salah. Be yourself, Dylan. Denmark versus Scotland is like watching paint dry. Get yourself onto FIFA Plus, Dylan, and watch a bit of Senegal v Sudan. Jamal, international break is purely for the love of the game. Yeah. To be honest, the international break, I just feel like everyone's kind of... The content, like all the content creators just start doing really, really random stuff. So like, and also starting really pointless debates. Like, have you noticed that the thing that's dominating social media today is like, was Michael Owen actually the best player ever? Was Michael Owen better than R9? Was Michael Owen better than Wayne Rooney and all this sort of stuff going on the timeline? Like, it just feels like that's dominated everything on Twitter today. So, because there's no club football on, all we've actually got is just these ridiculous, pointless arguments, which don't really make a lot of sense. And especially when you look at Michael Owen not having ever scored 20 Premier League goals. 1-0 to Ivory Coast. From No Casuals, I'd never say anything to wind anyone up me. Matt G, how's it going, Matt? Switzerland v Kosovo, not available in your country. Well, Senegal pushing forward here. Ball out to the far side. It's not been a particularly fast start in this one, it has to be said. RFC, is your Twitter name Premier League Dad? It's the PL Dad. So if you search Premier League Dad, it should come on. I would hope it does anyway. But yeah, you can search my name as well, Kee Thomas. If you search that, or the PL Dad, you'll find me on Twitter. Shelley, don't go on social media, thank God. I value my mental health. I wish I didn't have to be honest. I'd love to just stay off social media, but if I'm trying to make this work as some sort of a job, then I probably have to. And to be honest, I don't know of any other job that's particularly good for your mental health. They all tank your mental health in some way, shape or form, don't they? Samoa, do you follow the SPL at all? I do, yeah. I've watched a lot of the SPL this season. Oh, Sudan keeper very nearly threw one in his own net, to be honest. Chimey, Owen must be stripped of his Ballon d'Or. I won't go that far. He was good, don't get me wrong, he was good. I'm not trying to sit here and say he was terrible, but he wasn't the best, Michael Owen. He wasn't like R9. And I still would argue till I'm blue in the face that Robbie Fowler was better than him. Chimey. Oh, we've done that one, sorry. FN More Casuals. If I stayed off social media, I'd have not found this channel, so swings and roundabouts. Ah, that's very kind of you to say. Although maybe you're saying that in a way I'd never have stumbled upon this hellhole. Michael Owen, when fit, was amazing goal scorer. Just ask the Germans. The Germans. LG, the second half of Ireland's game was good, yeah. Will, who's the most famous player who's played for Sudan? Do you not know Mohammed Yusuf Abeid, or whoever it was I said on the bench before? Absolutely fantastic. I think that was his name. Let me go back to his name. He was absolutely fantastic. He was the all-time record goal scorer for Sudan. I read everyone out before. He's absolutely sensational. Be yourself, Dylan. Scotland can't latch onto the final ball. What are we saying? FM No Casuals, definitely a positive. Just block out the negative people. Sometimes they outweigh the positives. Matt, Switzerland 1, Kosovo 0. Samoa Bob, Michael Owen was like a lot of strikers where he was really good for 2 to 3 seasons, then just couldn't keep it. Well, yeah, I mean, he was absolutely fantastic. But I think, yeah, once he did his knee, oh no, it wasn't his knee, it was his hamstring, wasn't it? Pulled his hamstring away at Ellen Road, and after that he lost the yard of pace. He was never the same again. It's the brain rot rage bait. Senegal have scored. It's 1-0. It was a free kick whipped in from the left-hand side, and who's got the final touch? It's Big Koulibaly. Kalidou Koulibaly. Ball whipped in, free kick, and there you go. Senegal 1-0 up. Sudan have got it all to do. And the Lions... Oh, hey, they're complaining to the referee as well here. Yeah, the Lions of Teranga are 1-0 up. FM No Casuals, that defending though, to be fair, half their players are in the army probs. Well, do you know what? There was I think it was Superstar who's in our chat tonight actually, he was saying it's amazing that Sudan have been able to actually train and prepare for games like this, because obviously there's been, you know, the war and all sorts going on over there. And I didn't know this until last night, but yeah, the Sudanese Premier League, the domestic league, where most, if not all, of their players actually play, they have merged with the Mauritanian Football League, the Mauritanian Premier League. So, yeah, it's almost like Celtic and Rangers having to coming into the Premier League because there's a war in Scotland. So, yeah, it's been an interesting old year in the Mauritanian Premier League as a result of the influx of Sudanese leagues teams and all that stuff going on. Senegal are in again here. This could be a foul, and it is. It's going to be a foul to Sudan. 1-0 Sweden. Get in there. Yes. Who is it who scored it, Clarkey? William, is Habib Diarra playing for Senegal, or is he not Senegalese? I think Habib Diarra, are we on about Sunderland's Habib Diarra? I assume that's who you mean. He does play for Senegal, but I don't think he's playing tonight, as far as I'm aware. I didn't see the lineups fully before the game. I ended up reading pretty much all of the subs team, the subs. I read all the subs out and then said, there's your lineups, until someone pointed out, yeah, you're actually reading the subs out there, Kee. Will, I couldn't name a single team for the Mauritanian Premier League, could you? No, I can name a fair few things from African football, but I would say the Mauritanian Premier League I am embarrassingly short on knowledge on. Let's have a look. Let's do some teams from the Mauritanian Premier League. The Mauritanian Premier League is known as the Super D1. And the teams are known as Chermal FC, FC Tevrag Zena, AS Garde Nationale, and Nouakchott Kings are some of the teams. I'm going to pick Nouakchott Kings. They're going to be my team from now on in Mauritania. I like them. The Nouakchott Kings. They were purchased by Abdullahi Ould Sidia in 2016. And they were renamed the Nouakchott Kings. Originally called ASC Nasser Zemzem. There you go. Hey, you learn something new every night. A league I've never had a bet on. Oh, yo. And I bet by the end of this week you will have sunshine. Oh, you'll be all over the Nouakchott Kings. BTTS, get on them. Absolutely printing money. Kyle Moore, how do you have the shirts folded like that? They are on a A4 stand, basically. So yeah, just folded and then on an A4 stand. Beat yourself, Dylan. Croatia finally scored at the Faroe Islands. It took 30 minutes. Bet you could get round the Faroe Islands in about 30 minutes. LG says, do you think Jackson will come on? Possibly, yeah. I'm sure Bayern Munich won't be super keen on him coming on the pitch. Samoa Bob says, do they do parlays in the UK? Is that the popular way to bet? Well, I think you call them parlays and we call them accas. Now, is that the same thing? I am not entirely sure. Samoa Bob, like here in the US, most sports gamblers do parlays. I think a parlay is an acca. Is a parlay? Yes. So you call it parlay, we call it an accumulator or an acca. So yes, it's basically a combo of multiple different things that are going to happen. So yes, I have any one time usually 3 or 4 parlays running. Is that an old pirate word? It refers to an old wooden ship from the Civil War era. Kyle says, have you been streaming for long? I've not actually. No, I started in January and I did my first, but that was just me like kind of learning YouTube and making stupid videos. And then I started actually doing live watch-alongs, I think in March, about March time. And then since then I've done 50 to 60 a month, every month. So since, yeah, so if we say April, May, June, July, August, I mean, I've done about probably 250 to 300 games in the last 5-6 months. So a lot of games, from all over the world as well. It's good fun. And I quit my job to do it, stupidly. Sick display idea. Yeah, it's good. I quite like it. Will, can you name the top scorer in the Sudanese Premier League? I couldn't either. No. No, I couldn't. Jamal, I worry for Newcastle with Voltamada. He looks dreadful for 80 million. Oh, mate, honestly, you've got to give him time. The same way we're giving Wirtz time. Like, he's a young guy. He's the same age as Wirtz, isn't he? Like, I think he's actually older than Florian Wirtz. You got to give him time. Yeah, he's still a young lad. Italy 0, Estonia 0. Kyle Moore, nice one. Didn't you find yourself nervous at the start? Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you get the same thoughts as everyone else would. Like, what's the main thing you wouldn't do it? What's the main thing you wouldn't go on camera? You're worried about what people might say. You're worried people will take the mick and say, "Oh God, I can't believe he's doing that. Can't believe he's." Have you seen him do that? How embarrassing, how cringy. Well, lucky for me, I haven't got any mates really. I've invested everything in my wife and my little girl. I've got like old acquaintances I used to work with over the years, but I don't value their opinion enough that I would worry if they said. I mean, they have, to be fair. They said, "What are you doing?" Anyone who has a go at you and takes the mick, they're not really friends anyway, are they? Let's be honest. So, I decided I wanted to quit my job and try and eke some sort of a living out so that me and my missus and my little girl could move away somewhere around Europe. That's got to be a penalty, ref. That has to be a penalty, offside. So we were trying to move away somewhere out of the UK, and that's the plan. Ryan, do you watch any other sports in your spare time, or just football? Just football. No time for anything else. I watch a little bit of rugby league because I come from St Helens. Originally, I'm from a place called St Helens, which is like heavily rugby league focused. So, yeah, I watch occasionally rugby league. Like tonight, I didn't know this. This is how little I actually watch rugby league. Tonight is probably the biggest game in rugby league. St Helens against Wigan. That's us against our rivals. That's like Liverpool against Man United. So I'm not watching that, and I didn't even know it was playing tonight. So that's how little I actually watch rugby league, given I'm from St Helens. But I think if I wasn't watching this and my dad was here, I absolutely guarantee my dad would be like, "Oh, we're putting Saints and Wigan on," and we'd watch Saints and Wigan. So I'd probably watch it then. But I can take it or leave it. Kyle, I'd be afraid of me getting cancelled. Do you know what? Again, mate, there are people who like what you say, and there's people who won't like what you say. So, if you try and please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one. So, there's not really an awful lot you can do. Some people will like what you say, and that'll be it. Kyle, where in Europe would you want to move to? We've looked at lots of places. We've looked at Croatia. We've looked at... Obviously, Spain is the obvious one. We looked at Italy. We've been to Greece quite a bit. Turkey we've been to a number of times. Yeah, kind of pretty relaxed on where, but the idea being that we could move around a bit. If you've got some sort of an income that allows you to move around, like this would be, then you can move around. So you don't have to be too fixed on a particular area, I guess. I mean, if this works out, then in theory, I can watch football anywhere in the world as long as I've got an internet connection and a bit of electricity, can't I? We can do this from anywhere in the world, can't we? I'm here, it's fine. So I just need to take my camera, take this mic, take my laptop, get it plugged in. Can do it from Turkey, can do it from Greece, can do it from Spain, can do it from Croatia, wherever it might be. My father-in-law's quite taken for Thailand, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not keen. Purely because it would mean the Premier League games kick off at about 3 in the morning, which ain't my style. Shelley, what are we saying? Sorry, Superstar. It looks like a Sudanese team actually won that league last season. Did they actually? Shelley, were your mates, Kee? Well, you are now. A little bit like... it's a little bit like League of Gentlemen, that, isn't it, Shelley? You're my wife now. What are we saying, Superstar? You're doing a public service making this community, Kee. It's nice, isn't it? It's lovely. Callum, Burnley 0, Liverpool 4. What's your prediction? I think so too. Something like that would be good. Shelley, never been abroad. Wouldn't get me on a plane. Oh, Shelley, you've got to. Honestly, I'm terrified of them as well. I'm the same, believe me. And I never used to be. There was times where I could go on a plane on my own. I've been on a couple of flights on my own. But now I'm mortified of them. Yeah. And I don't know why. It was all of a sudden. It must have been like a middle-aged thing. It's just come on as soon as I hit like my mid-30s. That was, yeah, just started feeling dead funny on planes. But you can do it, and it's... I promise you should. If you can find a way to do it, travelling's amazing. You should go and see a bit of the world before you turn your toes up. If you can go and see a bit of the world. But hey, do you know what? Who am I to say that? I've not seen anywhere near enough of England. And I love England. Lots of beautiful places around England. So you can have a wonderful time even if you just stay on the old... keep your feet on the old terra firma. Go and see everything around Blighty, and... Scotland's gorgeous as well. Scotland's beautiful. Hassan says, I'm not watching the game, just a watch along here, but historically, most Sudan national team players play for two of the historically successful clubs in Sudan, Al Hilal and Al Merrikh. Interesting. Thomas Thornton, hello Dave. Hello Dave. What we saying? 1 second. You sound a bit like Simon Wilson. There's a few people who've told me I look a bit like Simon Wilson. I'll take that. I actually watched Simon Wilson this morning. I watched the Simon Wilson blog. I think, where was he? He was in North Korea. I watched that one, and then I watched a Mashtag blog as well, which was good fun. I like watching Mashtag. That'd be the dream. I'd love to do something with Mashtag. Matt, playing ear popping. Yeah, all the ear popping's not great. Greece 4, Belarus 0. Jamal, thoughts on Newton Llewellows? Yeah, sound. No problem with Newton Llewellows. I don't dare anger the Hills Have Eyes mutants who reside there. West Yorkshire last casuals, Huddersfield Giants here. Oh, you're a Huddersfield Giants fan? I would have thought so, to be fair. I know you're a Terriers fan on the sly as well. Making one person happy is better than making no one happy. That's true, Dylan. Yeah, very wise. United 7, yo, how's it going? You okay, mate? I'm good, thank you. How are you? Joe, we're not doing a rat watch. It depends what you want to define as a rat, because we're watching Senegal. So, Illiman and Dye's on the pitch, and Idrissa Gana Gay, two blue noses. Kyle Moore, have you travelled much, even to football grounds? I was thinking of doing ACV Bologna and Como versus Genoa on the 14th and 15th September. That's so cool. Do you know what? I'd love to have done that a lot more when I was younger. Sadly, I invested a lot of my... When I was doing very, very well in my career when I was younger, I invested far too much of my time into a young lady who I ended up travelling all over the world with. We went to New York and all over the place. I spent a lot of time with her and a lot of money on her, whereas I think if I'd have had my time again, I'd have probably said, do you know what, no, I'm going doing what I want to do, which is, I'm going to go and watch a bit of football around Europe. I'd love to have done that. I have done a bit of it, don't get me wrong. I've watched Liverpool play in Porto and Rome and Seville, and I've been to Germany and watched Liverpool. I've been to France a few times and watched quite a bit of football. Where else have we watched football? Portugal. Been watched Portimonense in Portugal. Turkey. Been and watched a couple of games in Turkey. I would have liked to go Galatasaray or Fenerbahce, but never did. Yeah, I've been and watched a bit of football around Europe, and Spain. Obviously, I've done loads in Spain. I've been to La Rosaleda in Malaga, absolutely loads of times, and I've done maybe 30 or 40 stadiums across England and Scotland. Not many. I'd like to do the 92, but I don't think I ever will, sadly. Joshua, will Tottenham skyrocket after Levy's departure? No, I don't think so. I don't think does it change an awful lot? Again, I think Daniel Levy gave Spurs a load of money. So what does it change? How does it change anything? Shelley, Rick Astley's Newton Llewellows. Yes, he is, yeah. Never gonna give you up. Yeah, there is. Oh, do you know what? This is what I can hear. Do you know what I was saying before? There's a barbecue. I think it was Rick Astley that was playing outside because it sounded very Rickroll-esque. It's mad you've just mentioned that. Frederick Berger. Hi, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Tomorrow I go to the airport to London. Nice. Enjoy your trip. Dylan says Burnley 2, Liverpool 1. A shock at Turf Moor after the international break. But who for, Chris Kamara? Superstar. Wow, that was the worst shot I've ever seen. To be honest, there's been a fair few in this first 30 minutes. It's not been great. Kyle, the transport is too much for me to be sorting out. Jamal, good stuff. I'll pass that on to the residents of the Willows. West Yorkshire Lass. I'm a Liverpool fan. My family was a huge Huddersfield Town fans. You turncoat. You dirty turncoat. Joshua, is the UK collapsing? Is the UK collapsing? I don't know. I don't know if it's collapsing any more than the rest of the world, to be honest. Certainly different, but then again, that could just be nostalgia. I don't know, mate. Honestly, I don't really get involved in politics. I don't really trust any of them, so therefore I don't pay an awful lot of attention to what goes on. So, yeah. Like, I want for very, very little in life. So, as long as ideally nobody gets hurt, nobody gets, well, not even ideally, yeah, nobody should be getting hurt. So I don't want wars, I don't want anyone getting hurt. It doesn't matter where they're from, what they've done, blah blah blah. Should generally try and just look after people if you can. And other than that, I don't really have a view on things. FM No Casuals, I don't trust anyone, but I distrust Tories more. Iceland 1, Azerbaijan 0. Lisha, is it 92 just in England? Yeah, the 92 is like a thing, and it's the 92 Football League clubs. So, obviously that doesn't include the National League. It includes the 20 Premier League clubs, and then 24 in the Championship, 24 in League 1, and 24 in League 2. So the 92 is kind of always changing anyway. But there's lots and lots of other grounds around the country you can go to, obviously in the National League and the National League North, National League South. But it is odd, isn't it? I think that's unique to England, is that you can go and watch games in the 4th tier and still get like 15, 20,000 people in the ground. In the 4th, 5th tier of English football, you just don't get that in Germany or Spain or Italy or France, anywhere. We are such a football mad nation. Kyle, I'm looking into doing AC v Bologna, Como v Genoa, and possibly Liverpool v Atletico all in the same week. That'd be so cool. Yeah, I can't say I've ever been to Como, but I've heard wonderful things. I've had a few of my mates go to Como recently, so I've heard wonderful things. So I'm sure you'd enjoy it. Jamal, petition to merge Scottish football into English football. But then you'd have to merge the Welsh Football League in as well. You'd have to get Barry Island and Barla Town and all them lot in as well. Llanelli and Pontypridd. Be yourself, Dylan. I've been to every Prem stadium apart from Chelsea, Tottenham, Fulham and Wolves. You could probably cover them 3 off, couldn't you, in one afternoon, Chelsea, Tottenham and Fulham. You should wait for one day where Chelsea are the early kick-off, Tottenham are the 3 o'clock and Fulham are the late kick-off. Just go and deck them all in one day. Catch Wolves on your way back up north. LG, Blackpool is lovely. The lights are nice on the tower. Are you in Blackpool? My mum and dad are in Blackpool at the minute. Matt, all you do, Germany in 3rd tier, get crowds over 40,000. 40,000 in Germany 3rd tier? Surely not. Surely not. You are as well. Do you know what? Highest recorded match attendance was 36,000 for a game between Kaiserslautern and Waldhof Mannheim in 2019. I mean, Kaiserslautern's different though, aren't they? Surely, Kaiserslautern's... They're an absolute giant of the German game. But that's still pretty good going. I stand corrected then. Honestly, I stand corrected. Superstar, below the SPL. You'd barely get a Scottish team in the Football League at all. Yeah, I was going to say, once you look past the SPL... I mean, I think even if you threw the SPL in and made them sort of qualify for their position, I imagine most of the SPL teams would probably be in Division... Well, League 1 and 2, I imagine. I don't know how many would be in the Championship. I think, honestly, I genuinely believe the current iteration of Celtic and Rangers would be a Championship team. Neither of them are Premier League teams at the minute. Shelley, number of footy grounds by me in Snowdonia. Love to climb Snowdon one day. Jamal, more fans turning away from top flight football and rediscovering the roots of the game. Yes, Big fan of that. I love going watching local National League games. Like I said, I've said it a few times on this channel. I've been to Altrincham, Moss Lane quite a few times. Yeah, good ground, good club. Superstar Celtic and Rangers would be yo-yo teams at best right now. Sudan, ball in, and Mendy comes out and claims it. Nice and easy. LG, Senegal and Sudan look even at the minute. I know Sudan are 1-0 down. I mean, Senegal just haven't really been able to exert themselves on the in possession when they've had the ball. They've continuously picked up some decent positions, but given it away quite sloppily. The pitch hasn't helped matters either, it has to be said. I think, again, it's holding up in some places. It's quite bobbly. But do you know what? Yeah, that is maybe a theme in African stadiums, isn't it? And I don't know if that's just maybe... I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's maybe because of the weather, how hot it is out there. It might be totally unbearable for grass to take in some parts, maybe because of the heat. I've no idea. But it always feels like the pitches in like the AFCON and stuff like that, they're always more bobbly, aren't they? Always a little bit more bobbly and a little bit difficult to kind of play on. Which, again, it's understandable if it's the weather, if it's that sort of the heat that's maybe killing the grass or making it really difficult to take in areas. Jamal, Oldham v Southend, 52,000, 5th tier record attendance playoff final last year. Wow. I mean, yeah, I was going to say, well, we watched that game on this channel as well. LG, am I right? I've been told Cornwall beaches are like abroad ones. Never been there, so don't know. Yes, my missus has never been to Cornwall, and I've said, before we do ever, if we are to move away in the next year or two or whatever, I'd love us to go to Cornwall before we do. We went down to Devon a few months ago, and she'd never been down there either. It was wicked. But I'd love to go down to Cornwall. I went there when I was younger. My missus has never been, but my mum and dad used to take us when we were younger. And it was a really cool place, yeah. Lots of lovely beaches in Cornwall. Ben, 3 promotions and they'll be in League 2. I've sponsored Warrington Rylands at work, so I'm going there a lot now, and it's class. Nice, Ben. Like it. LG, Senegal. Oh, we've done that one, sorry. Matt G says Chatham Town, Holland and Blair, Lordwoods and Rochester United are all in walking distance for me in the Medway. Lovely. Rochester. Kentway. That's another place I've not really seen enough of, you know. Kent. The Garden of England. God's back garden. I've been all over the UK. All over lots of places. I've never been to Kent, really. Not done enough of Kent. I'd like to do more of Scotland, more of Kent, and maybe a little bit of Ireland. Shelley, who's down? It was Mendy. Yeah, it was a clash between the Sudanese striker and Mendy. West Yorkshire Lass. I was in Cornwall last week. We stayed near Lifton, Fristol Beach, and Watergate. It's really nice. Yeah, some beautiful places down there. Where was it we went to? I think it was rated the #1 beach in the whole of England. It was in Devon. Woolacombe Beach. Consistently ranked amongst the best beaches in the whole of the UK, and it was ranked #1 last year. Even the world, it's been known for its 3-mile stretch of sand. And yeah, it was just so cool. Really, really beautiful beach, that. Everyone was doing it. There was people doing, like, what's that thing with the big kite? The big kite, and they're like jumping, but they're not on water. They were just doing it, just kind of landing on the sand again. That was really cool. Superstar, I love how African national team fans dance the whole game. And they all paint as well. They all get themselves painted up and everything, don't they? Like, look at that. You'd never see that at England, really. There's a full stand there that's painted all yellow, wearing all yellow, and then you've got a full, like, the other half of the stand painted green, and painted green all on the face and everything. Senegal are in. It's 2. There you go. What a finish. What a finish. That is absolutely sensational goal. Is it Sadio? No, it's not Sadio. Who is it who scored that? Great finish, it has to be said. Michael Owens, love the lives, brother. Good to see you, Michael. This was a fantastic finish, it has to be said. No, I don't think it was Sarr. Who was it who put it away? I don't think it was. Mane, Koulibaly, Malik Diouf for celebrating, but it wasn't. Who was it who got the ball here? Brought it down. It's a wonderful touch on his chest. Cuts inside, and then it's number 17. Is it Sarr? Who is it? Yeah, Pat Mate Sarr. It's Spurs Sarr though. It's not Ismaila Sarr. It's Pap Sarr from Spurs. But there you go. Clipstar UK, what's your England score prediction? My England score prediction is England 9, Andorra 0. No, it's really not. I would probably say England... Oh, go 4-0. I actually think they're going to be quite underwhelming, England. LG, if it stays like this, Senegal will be in a good position. Yeah, they are pretty much now heading back towards the top of the group, or at the very least, they'll be in one of the better second-placed positions. Listen, on that note, what is the best place you've been to in the UK, which you thought not many have spoke about, but it's a beautiful area? Ooh, that's a good question. Best place I've been to in the UK that not many people have spoke about? I have a tendency to say yeah, do you know what I am? I'm going to say, if you can get up to Dumfries and Galloway in Scotland, it's basically like going up to Scotland. You have to cross the border to go up past Carlisle. You cross the border from England into Scotland, and then you kind of have to go like almost back down so you're level with the Lake District again. And that around that area is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Kind of like Heartbeat, I guess, but it's really remote. There's some gorgeous, like, old Scottish villages there, a little bit like Balamory. Really, really nice. So yeah, I quite liked it up there. It's freezing cold, but I will say, when we went up there, it's so dark because there's just no light pollution for miles and miles and miles around when you go up that part of Scotland. And it's when it's dark, when it's night, it's pitch black. Like, you can't see a thing. Just a total blanket of stars if it's clear, and it's beautiful. Shelley, hope they don't do in Iceland. What we saying? Hang on, let me catch up with where we up to. 124 says Isak to come off the bench in minute 60, and LG says Senegal beat England last international break. They did, yeah. 124 says Croydon. Again, can't say I've ever been to Croydon. Callum Coyle, go to Scotland game. This one is over. Nah, you can't start a game and swerve it because it's halfway through and it's nearly done. Listen, Sudan won't think this is over. Sudan have had a great qualification campaign thus far. They'll still fancy they've got a chance here. Michael, do you have a second team? I don't really know. No, I've got a lot of teams that I like. You know, a lot of teams I've got time for. Like Malaga I really like, and quite like the Spanish teams like Betis and Valencia, Fiorentina in Italy. Quite like Villarreal as well, and Malaga in Spain. But yeah, no, I haven't really got a proper second team. 1-0 Egypt, Salah. Lisha, Key, did you see my comment? If so, what did you say? Oh, yeah, I did, mate. I literally did a full thing on it. I've just spoke for about 10 minutes talking about it. You've missed it. You'll have to go back to YouTube. But basically, I said, if you want to watch it back, go to YouTube and rewind. But I did say Dumfries and Galloway. Jamal says, is that the Galloway Forest Dark Sky Park? No, well, no, it's not. No, it's not. We was in a place called... oh, what was it called? Whithorn. Yeah, Whithorn. That's where we stayed. Or a place near Whithorn, anyway. And it's really, really nice. Really nice. Very, like I said, very much like Balamory, I guess. Painted houses and... yes, it's a nice place. Really good drive. And there's just... It's one of them places where there's no roads after you get a certain point. There's just no roads. You're basically driving through a field. And there's just cows surrounding the car. So you've got to be careful as well at times. Because cows, believe it or not, do kill people every year in the UK. I didn't realise that. they do. I shouldn't really laugh. But there's proper, major issues with cows. They kill 22 people a year in the US and about 5 a year in the UK. It's mad, that, innit? Cows. Jamal, rest in peace to those good 5 people. Absolutely. 124. No shock there. More in the US. I know. Right, we're on half-time here. Senegal 2, Sudan 0. Half-time. We have spoken more about other things in this first half than actual football. The football's not been terrific, but we have seen 2 goals. Pat Matessar with the second and Kalidou Koulibaly with the first, putting Senegal massively in control of this one and heading back towards the top, albeit second, actually. They'll be second behind DR Congo in the World Cup qualifying group. But we've talked mostly about other things on this live, as we normally do. We've talked about holiday destinations, potentially moving out of the UK, and cows killing people. So if that's your thing, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe. We talk about all sorts of rubbish at times while we're watching football. Spencer Richardson, probably because they try and eat the cow whilst it's alive. Maybe, that wouldn't be a very smart idea, but they're massive. Have you ever been up close to a cow? Like, really, really close to it. They're huge. West Yorkshire has random chats. Yeah. Very random. Superstar says, I was almost stampeded by cows walking through a field in the dark. They literally had me sprinting for my life. Mate, if they wanted to catch it, you ain't not getting away. They are so fast. They are absolutely rapid. But I remember we were staying in this little cottage. But the cottage didn't have a drive or anything. It was just in a field surrounded by cows. And the cows kind of scattered because the farmer must have called them and said, well, it's tea time or whatever. So they kind of scattered when we arrived. Slovenia won, Sweden won. Damn, I need Sweden to win. They all kind of scattered. And then I woke up in the morning, went outside, because you had to go outside. The toilet was literally an outhouse. That's the kind of cottage we're talking about here. No mod cons. We were staying in an old-fashioned house. Anyway, walked out, opened the door to go outside to the toilet. As soon as I opened the door, I swear to God, this cow was here. Right in front of me, this bull. It was massive. Its head, wider than the screen. And it was drooling and salivating. And I just looked at it and was going... eating whatever it was eating. And I just yeah. I'll come back out later, mate. That's yours. That area, that's all yours. Samuel, I have been up close to a bull on a walk. Ben, Denmark, Scotland killing me. Got Denmark BTTS. Yeah, don't even stay away on them BTTSs. Matt, most boring game I ever commentated on was Southport v Fleetwood Town, FA Cup first round. You commentated on that, Matt, did you? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you did commentary as well. That's cool, man. Like that. West Yorkshire lass, I won't even go anywhere near cows. To be honest, I don't think me and animals generally get on. That sounded a bit Keith Laird, that, didn't it? My missus laughs at me every time we go to like there was a place, it's not open anymore, sadly. There's a place in the Lake District, you might have heard of it, called South Lakes Wild Animal Park. Now, South Lakes Wild Animal Park is basically a zoo that you can walk around and the animals are effectively out with you. Now, obviously, the big ones aren't. Like, there's tigers behind cages and stuff like that. But, like, everything else, pretty much everything else, you are in the enclosure with the animals. And I'm talking everything from penguins to little monkeys. Is it lemurs or lemurs? It's lemurs, isn't it? Ring-tailed lemurs despise me, right? And there was a moment, I don't know if you've ever seen The Wizard of Oz, right? But you know The Wizard of Oz where Dorothy's walking through the evil forest with Toto, and then all of a sudden the winged monkeys come down and it's just like whoosh, and they all come down on her and they snatch Toto and fly away or whatever. It was like that. Me and my missus was walking through the lemur enclosure, and this zookeeper, I swear to God, he had a bucket and he walked next to us. We were just walking through. There was all these lemurs up in the tree, and I was like, a little bit like timid. I was a bit like, I don't know about this. But you had to walk through this little like mini forest. Anyway, this fella comes out of this gate with a bucket, and all he did was just go, just like rattle this bucket. I swear to God, it was horrific. It was like a horror scene, and I started running. So since that day, I've never lived it down. My missus calls me all sorts every time we see any of them on telly. Do you get on with cats and dogs? Love dogs. Yeah, love dogs. Not a massive fan of cats. I feel like I'm too needy for a cat. I need a dog to really like me, whereas I feel like a cat, you have to like work for their attention, don't you? Cats are a bit too standoffish. They'll not bothered with your cats. Whereas, yeah, a dog's just dogs are stupid, let's be honest. Dogs just come and lick you and just want cuddle with you all the time. So I love dogs. Any dog. I absolutely love dogs. But cats, no, not so much. I'm too needy for a cat. Benjamin Sesko scored for Slovenia. Has he? No, don't say that. I don't believe you. All Barley B, new here. You watching the Scotland game? I'm not. No, I'm watching Senegal against Sudan. I was planning to watch Denmark v Scotland, but at the last minute, my regulars on this channel said that they wanted to watch Senegal v Sudan because it was going to be a good game, and the group's quite close in the African World Cup qualifying. So that's what we ended up watching. You can watch it on FIFA Plus if you want to watch along. Slovenia is... No, it wasn't Sesko. I think Sesko's on the bench, actually. No, he did start. He did start, but he's not having a great game. I imagine... in fact, you know who the young... In fact, the worst rated player on the pitch... The worst rated player on the pitch in the Slovenia v Sweden game is Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres is rated 5.1, which is the lowest rating of any outfield player. Bad. Shelley, same. Some across from my house in the field as we speak with the sheep. See, I don't mind sheep. Sheep are fine. Matt, horses are bleeding terrifying. I've got 2 cats, so easy look after and amazing pest controllers. Oh, God, yeah. And I was going to say, I imagine that's another thing with cats. They probably bring all sorts into the house. Yeah. But hey, to each their own, I guess. It's just not... Cats aren't really my thing. Jamal says, Gyökeres slander. Here we go again. Oh, no. You know, listen, all I did was report a fact there. Just a fact. I didn't say anything about Gyökeres per se. Simon Stramval 192. Which match are you looking at? Right now, I'm watching Senegal versus Sudan in the African World Cup qualifying. It's 2-0 at half-time to Senegal. And it's a very, very tight group. Pup says, evening, sir. Watching the Denmark v Scotland game. Think they're following the Rangers playbook. Oh, God. Apparently, there's been a group of ex-players from Rangers legends, that have sort of come together and gone to the club and said, you have to sack Russell Martin. And apparently the club are now planning to sack him this month. Which is bizarre if that's the case, because if you were going to sack Russell Martin, the time to do so is right now, in between the international break, so you've got time for the players to kind of bugger off, go off to the national teams, get a manager in, get them all sort of bedded in, see how the training and everything works, and then all the players come back and they've got a brand new manager. Surely that would have been the smart thing to do. Rangers have gone another way. Matt, if you want to try loyalty in pets, budgies are tops. I'd quite like a bird. Yeah, I'd quite like a bird pet. But I don't know if I could deal with, I don't know, budgies. Yeah. I had a friend growing up who used to keep hawks, Harris hawks, I think she kept. And she used to come in all the time in school with the glove thing, whatever it's called. And it'd fly like all over the playground, and then she'd call it down. It'd be wicked. Or she'd throw a vole up to it or whatever. It'd catch it in midair. Wicked. I'd love something like that. I think I'd be more inclined to get like a Harris hawk than that. Tom, hey up, Prem Dad. How are we, fella? I am very good, Tom. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Jamal, I'm sure Ali McCoist has something to do with that. That's AC/DC, man. Is that AC/DC? Be yourself, Dylan. Do you like strawberry pencil sweets? Strawberry pencil sweets? I don't think I've ever had a strawberry pencil sweet. I think I might have had strawberry laces at one point. No, I have had strawberry laces. Of course I've had strawberry laces. I've never had strawberry pencil sweets. No. Pop, heard that. Does that group include Barry? Barry Ferguson? Maybe so. Well, he'd be one of the ones in the running for the job, surely. Tom, I'm good. Just had 4 days in Wales. Lovely. Whereabouts in Wales did you go? With the better half and got work tomorrow. I'm dreading it. Work on a Saturday. Sacrilege. I went to again. My missus hasn't. She's been all over the world. My missus, love her to bits, but she's never really done an awful lot of England. Even though she grew up here and lived here and everything, she's never done an awful lot of England and Wales. Like she's never been to Cornwall or anything like that. And when she was pregnant with our little girl, we went to Llandudno. Llandudno's cool, and I love going them sort of places in Wales. I went to a place called Neffin. Oh, that's a new one on me. Can't say I've ever been to Neffin. I'll have to check it out. Jamal, salt and pepper chicken. What about salt and pepper chicken? That's what you're having for tea? Fizzy laces are so nice. I'm not really into sweets. I've not had that stuff. I don't know. I've not really had any sweets for years. I can have chocolate's probably the only sweet I would say, but I've not really had any do you know when you go and you see when I was young, you'd get Chewits and Frutella. Frutella were well nice. Don't think I've had Frutella for years. Italy have scored against Estonia. 1-0. Tom, it was nice and saw some grey seals. They were 5 metres from us and the missus cried it's one of her fave animals. Oh, nice. Oh, that's really lovely, that, mate. Let me have a look and see where Neffin is. I'm intrigued now. You've piqued my interest. Neffin. It is near Gwynedd. Oh, it's on the northwest coast. Lovely. Oh, the northwest coast of the Llyn Peninsula. I was thinking it's definitely not the northwest coast. It's right down south, isn't it? It's right down south. The northwest coast to me is like Anglesey Way and Llandudno. But yeah, Neffin looks nice. Looks lovely, that. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Effing Neffin. What are we saying on YouTube? Pup says... Oh, we've done that one, sorry. Ostermorg, how are we, Key? I'm good, mate, thank you. How are you? I'm just watching a bit of Senegal. Senegal 2, Sudan 0. It's all good. Hopefully you are too. Thomas Thornton, I've been to Neffin, not too far from me, in Flintshire. Used to spend loads of time on the... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, Thomas. Llyn? Clane. On the Clane. Neffin is a town and community on the northwest coast of the Llyn Peninsula. Neffin is popular with visitors for its sandy beach. It has one substantial hotel, a pub and a beach cafe. Oh, that's cool. So it's just like one specific little tiny place that everyone loves going to. 2,602 people live there. Lovely. Matt, Italy are beating Estonia now. As we know, Estonia can't score. Tom, and got engaged while I was there. Oh, many congratulations. Oh, lovely. Oh, that's wicked news, man. Is it going to be, do you think, a long engagement, or are you planning on, she got eyes on getting something quick? See, I think we was engaged for about 7 years, something like that. We dragged it out. Got it planned. Good lad. Good lad. Oh, well, I made up for you, mate. That's fantastic news. Congratulations. That's what life's about. Right, well, Sudan are back out early. The manager's obviously given them a kick up the backside and said, get out there and turn it around. You're 2-0 down. Come on, we're not losing to these. Do you know, I've just looked on the back. I was thinking, all the Sudan players have got Sudan on the back. None of them have actually got the name on the back. They've just got Sudan and then their number. Tom, who are you watching? We're watching Senegal versus Sudan in the African World Cup Qualifiers. Be yourself, Dylan, while Denmark didn't bring Hoyland on. Who've they got up front, Denmark? Or who are they playing, actually? Let's have a look at see Denmark's lineups as follows are Schmeichel in goal, Christensen at the back with Mahler, Dreyer, Højbjerg, Hjulmand and Damsgaard, Dolberg and Biereth up front. Dorgu's on the bench, Hoyland's on the bench, O'Reilly, Asula. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's hope Denmark can pinch it. I could do with a Sweden goal. Has Alexander Isak shown his face yet? No. I wondered, has Alexander Isak come off the bench? Love it if he did. I'd love it if Isak comes off the bench in the second half. Gyökeres is having an absolute disaster. Again, lowest rated player on the pitch. Victor Gyökeres having an absolute shocker for Sweden tonight. We're about to get underway in the second half here in Senegal. Is it in Dakar, this stadium? I would assume so. That's the main city in Senegal, isn't it? That's the capital. Is it in Dakar? It is, yes. It's in Diamniadio, which is a town in Dakar, Senegal. There you go. Right, well, we're off and underway for the second half here. Koulibaly and Sarr putting Senegal in the lead, in control in this tie. 2-0 up. Oh, and Saints are getting beat against Wigan as well in the Rugby League. Saints 4, Wigan Warriors 12. Gutted. Oh, they've scored again, Wigan. It's 16. Stop what you're doing. Salah has scored a penalty. Be yourself, then I'll be so worried when Scotland play Greece. Right, it's a long ball in already. Oh, it's going to be a free kick. I thought there was going to be a chance for Sudan there. Ostamorg is Diarra playing for Senegal. Someone asked me that before, but I don't think he is actually. Let me have a look. Yes, he is. Yeah, it's Diarra, Habib Diarra, Gay, and Sarr in the midfield, and Dia, and Mane up front. Diouf, Niakate, Koulibaly, and Diatta at the back, and Mendy in goal. So I know I've done that a little bit like arse about tit, but I do feel like Malik Diouf, the left back of Senegal, is... I know he's for West Ham, obviously, at the minute. He's playing for West Ham, but I am absolutely certain he's going to be a top Premier League player. I think somebody... Whoever next needs a left back out of the top 6 will go and get Malik Diouf. He's absolutely incredible. Ostamorg thought he played for France. Must have changed. I don't know, actually. Maybe he has, yeah. I mean, to be honest, there's quite a recruitment drive, isn't there, from the African nations to kind of get... I mean, sure, there was a comment made not that long ago about trying to get Ekitike to play for Cameroon. But yeah, he has. Habib Diarra played for France under-16s, under-18s, under-19s, under-21s, and then he was called up to Senegal last year, and he's been playing for Senegal ever since. He's actually born in Senegal, wasn't he, Habib Diarra? But he played for France from the under-16s to the under-21s level. Jamal, was you born into generational wealth? No. No, not at all. No. No such thing as generational wealth in St. Helens, mate. Great ball in. This is fabulous from Senegal. Big chance. Off the bar. That would have been an absolutely incredible goal if that had gone in. Oh, it was a wonderful counter-attacking move from Senegal. I think it was Sadio Mane down the left-hand side who pulls the ball across the face of goal. And is it Iliman Ndiaye who hits that? Oh, what a strike that was. Absolutely smashed off the bar. Ben, generational wealth, I know. It's a nice thought, isn't it? It's a lovely thought. Someone put a joke on Twitter last night. It was one of them long-winded ones that you'd only kind of clock it at the very end. It was something like, I got talking to a fella in a pub the other night, and he was explaining to me, he turns out he had 3 million quid, and he was explaining to me how he did it, and it turns out he bought a Land Rover. He didn't go to university or anything like that. He just went and got stuck into work. He bought a Land Rover with the little money that he had, and he did it up and then sold it. And then he used the profit from that to buy 2 Land Rovers, and then so on and so forth, until he became the multi-millionaire that he is today. And then one day his uncle died and left him 3 million quid, and that's how he's a millionaire. It was said a lot better than that, but that was basically the joke that someone said on Twitter last night. And that is kind of basically how people end up getting rich nowadays anyway, isn't it? Most of the time. Generational wealth. Italy 2-0. Superstar. Yeah, it wasn't. It was said a lot better than that. It's one of them. You had to be there. Retegui with the goal. Another disappointing player who's gone to Saudi. Why has Retegui gone to Saudi? He could be whatever he wanted. He could play for whatever team he wanted to in Europe. Top centre forward. Great ball, Sadio Mane, should be 3. Oh, Sadio, straight into the side netting. It wasn't. It was Diouf actually. I'm blaming Sadio. It was Malik Diouf, the player that I've been bigging up all game. Be yourself, Dylan. Come on, Scotland. No, come on, Denmark. Scotland win. They cost me money. I'm keeping an eye out for if Sweden have brought Isak on yet. He's still not on. Ilanga's gone off for Eliasson. And Bernardsson's gone off for Nygren. Ostermorg, no Leone in the Italy team. No, again, I feel like I'm kind of relaxed about Leone. He's 18 years of age. You don't want to be giving too many games to him at that age. It's much better that he kind of just plays a few minutes here and there. And again, in fairness, he's got some pretty decent defenders to compete with in the Italy squad. He's got Bastoni, and I think Calafiore's playing ahead of him tonight as well. 3-0. Italy 3-0 up now. Who scored the third? It was Moise Kean got the first, Retegui's got the second, and Raspadori's got the third. Who said Italy haven't got centre forwards or strikers? Honestly, Raspadori, Retegui, and Moise Kean are up there with. I mean, I'd say that beyond Harry Kane, I think they're better than England strikers. Then Moise Kean's absolutely terrific. Retegui too. Korab, what's the game on? This game is Justine is on. Oh God. Sorry, I just had a message. So this game is on FIFA Plus, mate. Yeah, you can watch it on FIFA Plus if you've got it, the FIFA Plus app on your app store or your Apple TV or Smart TV or Fire Stick or whatever you've got. Go and search for FIFA Plus. You can watch this game. You can watch any of the African games on it. Free. Completely for free. Matt, it's only Estonia. I know it's only Estonia, but again, people do have a real pop at Italy for their lack of attacking threats, and I feel like there are some good centre forwards in that Italy side. Be yourself, Dylan. I love how each team has their own 3-letter pronouns. Who do? What are you on about? Oh, you mean the shortened version of the names, I guess. What's the score? The score is 2-0, Korab. Senegal 2, Sudan 0. Ben, he's going to need to be able to play. Yeah, of course he's going to need to be able to play, but I just don't think we need to be throwing him in and playing him for 90 minutes or anything like that just yet. 20, 30 minutes off the bench, fine in certain games, but I would, at this moment in time, if it was a straight choice between starting Endo or Gravenberch or Leone at centre-back, I'd be starting Gravenberch over him. Scotland might get a red card. It's gone to VAR. Yes! Get him off the pitch! Ostermorg, they've left Chiesa out the team as well. He'd have done well for them. Yeah, I think... Oh, nearly 2-1! Big deflection. It was a shot from about 40 yards out there from Sudan. And it's an absolute massive deflection. I don't know who it deflects off. Maybe Koulibaly at the back there. Just kind of sticks a lazy leg out, and it totally wrong foots Edouard Mendy in the Senegal goal. And very, very nearly 2-1. We nearly had a game on there. It hits his shoulder. What, in this one? Or in Scotland's game? I thought he stuck his leg out. Oh, for Scotland. All right. Liam Manning, oh my God, the ref went to the monitor and stuck with his decision in the Scotland game. Well, like, that's good. I'm glad. I'd rather him do more of that. If they don't think it's a red or a pen, stick with it. The ref should have done that in the Fulham game, shouldn't he, against Chelsea? KSI 4, Azerbaijan 0. KSI? Is that not KSI? KSA? Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. What's KSI? Are you on about the actual KSI? Surely he's not playing Azerbaijan on his own. Be yourself, Dylan. Hoyland is on now, finally. Have we got any update on Alexander Isak? As Sweden have scored. It's 2-1. It's 2-1 to the Swedes. Yes. 15 minutes to go in Slovenia, and Sweden have scored. How are you saying Azerbaijan are down 5-0? Against who? Iceland. KSI. Is that Iceland, KSI? Why are they called Iceland? Why is Iceland called KSI? That's news to me. Oh, it is actually, isn't it? Oh, I didn't know they were called KSI. KSI. What's it stand for? Knattspyrnusland Icelands. Yeah, no. The Football Association of Iceland. Come on, are we bringing Isak on yet or what? Oh, Gyökeres has got an assist. So all's not terrible. KSI the YouTuber. That's what I thought he meant at first. I was thinking, surely KSI the YouTuber's not beating Azerbaijan 5-0 on his own. That's some feat. I am Kroot now then, Kee. My ex-missus came into my work yesterday. Of all days to do it, I served her table. What did you serve her? Didn't hock a loogie in a burger, did you? On your birthday of all days, and your ex-missus comes in. Poison. Well, to be honest, we had something similar, something sort of similar to that. Me and my missus, we dropped our little girl off at school, and we stood in the playground. I looked at, and my missus is a little bit like, not uncomfortable, but she's just a little bit like, I'm like, what's up with you? And she said, I used to go out with him over there. Fucking head teacher. The head teacher. It's her ex. I couldn't believe it. He's now the head teacher of my daughter's school. So that's going to be fun. PTA meetings are going to be fun. Parents' evening will be awkward. I know, yeah. Hiya. I believe you know my wife. Ollie, what game are you doing on Sunday? I don't know yet, mate. I have no idea. There's going to be a few games we do on Sunday. Probably 2 or 3. But I'm not sure just yet. Ostermore Gayari scored for Sweden. He seems like an underrated one. Always plays well for Brighton when I watch him. Yeah, he did all right. The first game I remember watching him was at Goodison Park, and he had a goal disallowed there in a 4-0 win for Brighton. But yeah, he's always been quite good, hasn't he? Be yourself, Dylan. How to date chicken. Liam Manning, why is it when a girl points out their ex, we're okay with it? The other way around, they hate it. Well, yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was quite funny, to be fair. You couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. But I needed to do it for that final bit of closure. To be fair, all my colleagues offered to serve the table, which I massively appreciated. But I needed to do it for that final bit of closure. Yeah, I was going to say, I think if you went over there and you was just sound and you was just like, yeah, how's it going? Good to see you. The thing is, the worst thing you can do is kind of cower in the corner. Did she know that you worked there as well? Because that's the other question to be asked. Is she trying to play silly beggars? Because if she knows you work there and she's brought a fella there, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I am crude. Tried to be as professional as I could. Her sister messaged me afterwards as well. Aye, aye. Well, hey, mate. As long as you felt okay with it in the end, that's the main thing. And no, I'm not sleeping with a sister. I wasn't suggesting you was. Excuse you. I didn't want for 1 second insinuate a thing. Liam, best thing to do is just show her you don't care about it anymore and you're over it. Absolutely. Be yourself, Dylan. My brother has moved to Aberdeen to live there. Gonna miss him. Aberdeen as well. It's not even like it's round the corner, is it? So that's like as far away as you could get from you, that. Is he working in... Well, I assume if you've moved to Aberdeen, and is he moving there for... Maybe he's moving there for love. Maybe he's moving there for work. If he's moving there for work, I'm guessing he's on the rigs. Again, you don't have to tell us this, Dylan, but, it's a very... Oh, he's studying at uni. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I quite liked it up in Aberdeen. It's a thoroughly depressing place at times, but it's a nice. There's like the people are really nice. I'm sure when I went up there was like it's like one of the highest rates of depression in the whole of the UK. And then you get to Aberdeen, you can see why, because everything's like granite and it's always foggy and cold, and it's pretty grim. But the people are always really nice. When I went up there, studying to be a doctor, so a lot of work. Wow, intelligent guy, your kid. Wow, very nice. Lost them all gossiping with Kee Thomas. I know. I was going to say, might have to start doing a weekly session of gossiping and therapy beyond just actual football. just talking about random stuff that have happened this week. Well, Sudan are in down the left-hand side here. Good ball in and cleared away by Koulibaly. I am crude. They were only depressed because they're Scottish, Key. Don't look too deep into it. Oh, mate, don't say things like that. The Scots are wonderful people. I love the Scots. Do you know, in fact, Scots are probably less depressed than us English, for what it's worth. Most of the Scots I've met up there have been the most upbeat and pleasant people going. Superstar says Aberdeen is so grey. Yeah, it is, isn't it? We went up there in, I think it was July. It was July of about 2003, maybe 2003, something like that. And it was just foggy. And in July as well, middle of July, it was dead foggy. There was fog rolling in off the North Sea. It was bitterly cold. And Pittodrie's known as the Hill of Dung. I believe that's in whatever Scottish language. Celtic, maybe, I don't know. Thomas has been at my nephew's footy tonight, under 11s. Good little player, but nobody passes. Do you know what, though? In the under 10, under 11, under 12 brackets, it's still kind of about individual brilliance, isn't it? A lot of the kids just kind of pick the ball up and just run with it. which to a degree I actually quite like. I know you should pass it off and you should teach them about passing, but it feels like if you coach them too much, they end up doing that all the time. I remember going to my nephew's, it was about that age, maybe about 9 or 10 he was. And I remember going to one of his training sessions, and he was, the coach was like, yeah, dead heavy on shape and, you know, movement off the ball and pass. He was trying to be Pep Guardiola. I was like, mate, you're coaching 10-year-olds, just get them to enjoy the game. Like, that's the most important thing. But I agree, I know what you're saying. It is frustrating, I imagine, if you're watching, you must be thinking, just pass him the ball. Especially if he stood wide open in the middle. Pass. But I quite like that we encourage kids to a bit of individualism as well. Don't be afraid to pick it up and run at the opposition. You know, don't play it safe all the time. Shelley, you'd have been great on Jerry Springer. And now for my final thought. Matt, it's bloody freezing that in just summer. Ben, Denmark doing me for 244 quid off a fiver, other 4 legs coming in. Why would you have put BTTS on Denmark, Scotland? Silly. Thomas, couple of really good players there, though. My nephew is more sensible, but still likes a shot. They all have Ronaldo and Messi syndrome. Be yourself, Dylan. My little brother plays football, and one of the other coaches was raging when he missed an open goal. They take it too serious, don't they, a lot of them? The man, I don't think Isaac will come on. He's not played for a while. I would have thought he'd have at least got on the pitch and maybe got a kick of it. But we're in the last 5 minutes here. He's still not come on. Give him a few minutes, Yondal Thomason. Get him on the pitch for Gyökeres. Can't hurt. Matt, my coaching was every player did play in goal. I remember I only went in goal once. And I was quite small. And we played in full-size nets. And I conceded 7 in one half. I didn't go in goal again. It was one of them, though, where we turned up and our keeper hadn't turned up. I think it was only about maybe 9, something like that. Our normal keeper, hadn't turned up. And the manager was like, listen, if you want to play, lads, one of you's going to have to go in goal. Even if you switch at half-time, you know, you don't have to go in goal the full game, but one of you has to go in goal, otherwise we're cancelling the game. Like, there's no other way. There's 12 of you. One of you is going in goal. Who is it? Nobody volunteered at all. So I was like, well, fine. He was literally borderline walking out the room and saying, I'll go and cancel it then. So I just went, fine, no probs, I'll go in. But I'm only going in for the first half. Someone else can change. So I conceded 7 in the first half and give us an uphill battle to climb. They were just lobbing me. It was well not fair. I was only about 4 foot tall. In full-size nets as well. It was shocking. Ben, same reason I put Sweden BTTS. I thought it had a decent chance of happening. Easy to say it's silly when it's not coming in. 2020 hindsight, man. Still no Alexander Isak. Sacked Yondal Thomason. Be yourself, Dylan. Scotland and Denmark letting the night down as it's the only game without a goal. I was hoping we'd get another one in this one, but it's been a crap second half so far. Thomas, that's the good thing about kids' footy now. Right-sized pitches and goals. Yeah. It'd have been better if we'd had I think we played half-size pitch. We used to put the full-size nets on the halfway line, and that was up until being about maybe about 11-12. I think once it got to 11-12, we were playing full-size from that moment on. But up to that point, it was always halfway line. Right, Koulibaly. Is Koulibaly coming off? No subs. Just a free kick. Our primary school pitch was massive, says Thomas. We had a pitch in the league that we played in. So the team was called Knowsley South. In the league that we played. It was the Liverpool League, basically. We was in a decent team, and we always sort of competed for the league with Whiston Juniors. Whiston Juniors, funnily enough, is who Steven Gerrard came out of. That was the team that Steven Gerrard played for when he was a kid. So we played against Whiston Juniors, Knowsley South, in that same sort of league. And Knowsley South's pitch, I swear to God, was like that. I'm not even kidding. If you played in the first half, all that teams did, the same tactic every time. If you was in the first half and you were kicking downhill, get your strongest kicker of a ball to go on the goal kicks and launch it. The amount of goals that got scored off goal kicks on that pitch was incredible. In fact, there was an own goal scored once off a goal kick because it was launched up the pitch and the wind took it and blew it back over and lobbed the keeper. It was incredible. Thomas, are you by the safari park? Well, I'm not far away from the safari park. Yeah, not a million miles from it, but I'm not in it. I mean, Knowsley South is just one of the teams that played, but if you Knowsley South was in that league, there was Whiston. There's lots of teams around that we even played, like Highton and Roby and just a lot of teams kind of on the outskirts of Liverpool. But yeah, Knowsley's Safari Park, we've been there a few times with my little girl. Ostermorg, how many caps is Ekatike offering being locked into playing for France? Is it number of caps? I don't think it is number of caps. I thought it was just if you make one senior appearance, that's it. Is it number of caps? That's mad. Ekatike's played. Hugo Ekatike has played. He's never played for France. Yeah, he only has to play one competitive game, as far as I understand it. Apparently, it's 3 caps before the age of 21. So a player cannot change national teams after playing a competitive game. However, there are some exceptions. If you've not played more than 3 competitive games before the age of 21 and you haven't played in a major tournament for your country, and at least 3 years have passed since your last appearance for them, then you can switch. So basically, Ekatike could still do it now, but there is a way to change only if you've not played in 3 years, and the last time you did play was like before you were 21. Oh, Slovenia have equalised. Slovenia 2, Sweden 2, last minute goal from Vipotnik. Ben, Whiston were good when I was a kid. Always gobbiest opposition. Best teams we played against were Winnick and Matiola. Don't think I ever played against Winnick or Matiola. We were always Liverpool and not like Warrington League. But yeah, Whiston, they did have some gobby players. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, any teams around that neck of the woods. Knowsley South were as well. There was a kid, I swear to God, I remember us, I won't say the name, but I remember we played a kid, I think we were about 15, 16, and we were still playing, and we were playing Knowsley South, and one of the lads on my team was like, he said hello to this lad on Knowsley's team. And I said, oh, do you know this lad? Like, he was like, oh, yeah, he's whatever. He's just got out of jail. I said, what? He was like, yeah, oh, yeah, he's just got out of jail. He's got done for, like, violence, carrying a knife and all this sort of, like, and I was like, yeah, all right. I'm not sound. I'm gonna just kind of. I'm so glad I'm on the opposite side of the pitch to that fella today. I think I was playing left back and he was on like left-sided, left wing or left attacker on the other side, so didn't really see too much of him. But if he'd have wanted to get past me that game, he was getting past me, no problem. I wasn't taking anyone on with a knife at 15. Thomas, we had a few like that as well. Loads of the pitches covered in sheep and sheep shit as well. I am Crute. Have you seen the US Congress clip of the scene in Alien? And they're saying that's what will happen if you eat raw shrimp. I haven't seen that. Thomas, I think he should switch to Wales, Ekatiki. Hollywell and Flint were the gobbiest in my league. Assist by Sesko. Be yourself, Dylan. Scotland got the draw. Good results. Superstar, let's not tackle that guy. Yeah, let's absolutely just not tackle that guy at all. If he wants the game of his life today, he can have it. The thing is, you would never have... To look at him, you would have never ever said that was the case as well. And I'm led to believe that nowadays he's got like 14 kids by about 12 different mums. So he's got an enriched social life these days. Thomas, footy was so much about being hard in our day, it was ridiculous. It still is though a little bit, in it now at like local level. This is why I don't think I'd go and play anymore. I don't mind playing five-a-side, because five-a-side it's not too... But if you play like open age and you play on a full-size pitch, the amount of people who are just absolute hatchet men who just go for a fight. I used to go watch one of my local teams here. We used to go and watch on a weekend open age because one of my mates used to play for him. Oh, and the amount of times it'd descend into a fight over some numpty flying in for a tackle that he was never gonna get, and you're like, mate, we're all dads and like fellas who go the boozer. Like, why are you playing like it's the World Cup final, you moron? Chill out. Like, this fella's got to go to work on Saturday. You've just basically took his leg off. Hi, I'm Crute. Was he on Jeremy Kyle at any point? He might well have been, yeah. Thomas, it is a bit. It put me off. I prefer a nice 8-a-side. Had my shoulder dislocated and wrist broken. Yeah, I agree. If you can get a nice 7-8-a-side or whatever, that's well better. I am Crute says every week was a Lee Boyd and Kieran Dyer. Yeah, and that was if you were lucky. Like a lot of the time, you'd get like you'd get gangs turning up and stuff like that. Like, and it was like war on the touchlines and everything even before the game. Like, it was like a major rivalry, like Celtic and Rangers, but without the segregation at Ibrox. Like, it's just the fans next to each other and all kicking off. That's why, and do you know what? That's why there's no referees at that level as well. That's why the referees in the Premier League are absolutely shocking, because nobody wants to referee at grassroots anymore. Because at grassroots, you've got mums and dads at 14, 15 threatening referees, and then at open age, you've got grown men threatening referees. So nobody's actually willing to do any of the stuff. And then Premier League referees, it's just usually some guy who's like, oh, I'll have a go, yeah. And he just gets the job as a Premier League referee. Be yourself, Dylan. Good job that you didn't watch Scotland. I knew it was going to be a bad game, that one. At least we've had some goals here. Although the views have tanked. I knew we wouldn't get good views on this one. We've had about 250 people on YouTube. And it's been fairly low on TikTok as well. So, but hey, we've had a good laugh, if nothing else. I quite like these lives where maybe it's not as invested in football, because we can just chat about crap, can't we, really? I am Crute. I remember when I played under 10s. My mate's older brother reffed the game. He was about 14. You can't, honestly, if you say you want a referee, you are gonna be referee. Like you can be, I reckon, an elite referee with about 2-3 years of experience. You don't need an awful lot. As long as you're fit and you can run the line and, you're not getting a load of decisions wrong. Generally, you've got eyesight and, that side of it. You don't need to have a whole lot of experience. There's a lad I used to work with. In fact, I used to manage him. He was in my team. And he runs the line for, I think he does National League North at the minute. Do you know how old he is? 21. Runs the line for National League North right now. And he's done maybe 18 months at a push. And he's pushing for his, to do more of his refereeing, and he wants to be a Premier League referee. So it wouldn't surprise me. I've not spoke to him in probably a good 12 months or so. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he pops up and I hear from him in a few years that he's a Premier League referee. I am Crute. I think being a ref is mental. I couldn't do it. Yeah, it's take a lot of abuse. Pup, a good point, though don't want Clark sacked. Must only be Rangers. Right, we're in the last 10 minutes here in Dakar. Senegal 2, Sudan 0. I think this one's pretty much done. Be yourself, Dylan, and you will sue him after he gives Arsenal a penalty against Liverpool. Yeah. I mean, I know some stuff on that guy anyways. if he does become famous as a referee, I'll get in touch with him and say, listen, next Liverpool game you're doing, sunshine. Unless you want a subtle report in the Daily Mail, an anonymous tip, you better give us everything. Nicholas Jackson and Sabali have come on for Senegal here. Iliman Ndiaye has gone off. Doesn't look best pleased, Iliman Ndiaye. It's got to be said. I am Crute. Will we have another David Coote scenario with your mate? Oh, he's a nice enough lad. He's just a young lad. He used to come in the office and say all sorts of things that, yeah, in hindsight, I think maybe if he's in another 5-10 years, he'd look back on and think I probably shouldn't have said that. But he was alright. He was a nice enough fella. Can't be too harsh on kids these days. Everyone makes mistakes. I was always too forgiving, I guess, with him. But he was a nice enough lad. He was just said some stuff. Key, pal, you're getting stylish by the day on the streams. You must be joking. Stylish. I am Crute. We all have those moments, don't we? Yeah. I mean, nobody's perfect. You've got to afford people their lapses in judgment. As long as they're apologetic and they don't, the intention's there to, they didn't mean it or whatever. As long as you know they're good people at the heart of it. But yeah, he had a few lapses in judgment. I would speak about it. I'll if I ever do any sort of offer or members only streams, I'll talk about it. But to be honest, I've got loads I could tell you stories from them days, but that'd be funny. But I would never do it on live. It's not fair. Thomas, if you're a good ref, it wouldn't be too bad. Paid to watch Prem football and get a good view. I know, but do you know, you get death threats and all sorts. Do you know how much they go? I mean, I don't know if it's still the case, but I think I've mentioned on this live a few times before. Ex-Premier League ref Chris Foy is from, where we're from, or where my dad, is from round St. Helens kind of thing. My dad used to go for a beer with him occasionally. And I think they were on at the time when he was reffing. They used to get something I think it was £1,500 a game plus expenses. So it'd be maybe a couple of £100, depending on where they were driving for. Couple of £100 for the hotel, plus food and drinks in the hotel on the night, plus fuel, plus £1,500 for the actual game. And any other expenses that he needed, like, gym membership to stay fit, plus whatever other stuff he could reasonably squeeze through expenses. So it was a decent living, but £1,500 a month, well, £1,500 a game, and he would do usually 2 games a weekend, and maybe 1 through the week. So all of a sudden, you're talking about £18,000 a month, top line before tax. Yeah, well, I was going to say it probably is over 100k a year now, but that's dependent on how many games they get awarded. Obviously, it was £1,500 a month 10 years ago when Chris Foy was doing it. So it might have gone up now. I imagine with inflation, it might even be more. And then plus you've got, your guys like Michael Oliver and all them who are getting extra payments, aren't they? Because City's owners have said, oh, by the way, do you want to come out and ref some Saudi games? You can come ref some Saudi games and we'll pay you a £50,000 or £100,000 or whatever it is consultancy fee. You can come out and ref some games in Saudi. So all of a sudden it becomes mega lucrative, but you have to put up with an awful lot of stuff. I imagine you get, death threats and all sorts. And I mean, look at that referee. Who was the referee who was in? He was coming home from the airport, from the World Cup, and he was in the airport on his own. And I'm sure it was it the Italian fans? Do you remember that? I'm sure it was an English referee. And I'm sure it was after the Qatar World Cup. It might have even been the Euros. I can't remember. It wasn't that long ago, but it was a referee. It might have been Michael Oliver, and he got properly bullied and thrown loads of stuff at in an airport. Pope, my mate is still proud to be the first boy to get a red card at an Erdrey and Coatbridge Boys Brigade game. Didn't help his case when he told the ref to go away as he came off the park. I am Crute. If he ever has a bad game reffing Liverpool, just subtly drop hints. When Howard Webb eventually leaves sacked, do you think VAR refs will improve? I just feel like the expectation for VAR is that it gets 100% of things right, and that's why people are so annoyed with it. If the understanding was that it was going to take time and not everything is going to get right, I think people would be a little bit more forgiving. I actually think football fans should be a lot more tolerant of referees. I know it's hard because they get so much wrong for our team and it's frustrating. But if we supported referees a lot more, I feel you'd get more out of it. I think we'd get better decisions. Because it just feels like the scrutiny and the pressure is far too intense that they end up combining, which is what we see happen, isn't it? They go to the touchline, and because their mate has said on a monitor 100 mile away, I think you should look at this. I think it might be a red card, or I think it might be a penalty, or I think you might have got that one wrong. They go and have a look at the monitor, and instead of showing a bit of, a purr, they go and go, I'll just side with my mate. Because if I side with my mate, then we're all together, referees together. And it wasn't just me that got it wrong. It was me and 2 other referees that got it wrong. So they're just kind of playing the odds on it a little bit. Superstar, Italy weren't in the Qatar World Cup. It might not have been Italy. I can't remember who it was. And it might not have even been the Qatar World Cup. I don't know. I was just thinking to myself, it was in an airport. I'm sure it was an English referee, and they got attacked or spat at, and they had chairs thrown at them and all sorts. So, as much as you say it's a good living, it's, you get all sorts of death threats and everything. Oliver is the shittest ref going. Don't know why he's seen as the top one. Joe, I like the ref that did the Leeds game last weekend. He's always been a solid ref. It was Anthony Taylor after the Europa League final. Was it really? Sean McCann, what game are you watching? Me, Scotland. It was a pretty shite game. I am watching Senegal against Sudan. There's literally a couple of minutes left. It's Senegal 2, Sudan 0. It was Senegal 2, Sudan 0 at half-time. It's not been the best game, but it's also not been terrible. We've enjoyed it. We've had a good laugh. We've had chat. It's all good. St Helens 4, Wigan 18. I am Crute because Jose Mourinho went mental. Oh, yeah. After the Roma game, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Maybe that's why I've said Italians, because it was Italian fans. Yeah, that makes sense then. How many minutes of added on time have we got here? I've no idea. Well, for what it's worth, by the way, I do just want to say, even though we're winding down, there's not too many, not too many people in the live at the moment. It feels like we've got to that stage of the night. I am live tomorrow again at 11:30. Actually, no, it's more like 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock tomorrow, I'll be live for Newport County against Bristol Rovers. That's going to be our 12:30 kickoff. So if you want to join me for that, make sure you get over to YouTube. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe on TikTok as well. And we'll be live for a 3 o'clock kickoff and then England v Andorra at 5. So we've got 3 big games tomorrow. Hopefully you'll join me for some of them, if not all of them, but certainly some of them. Joe, Roma fans always get a bad rep, and justifiably so, in my opinion. Lee Oxley, Frank Lampard linked for West Ham. What do you think for that? Frank Lampard binning Coventry off and going managing West Ham. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Would he go there? Right, we had 4 minutes of added on times. There's literally 2.5 minutes left here. I am Crute. Got a nice week off now, which I'm buzzing for. Thomas says Lazio are worse, I think. Well, Lazio may be famous for the Di Canio salute and everything that happened. Excuse me. Pup says, can we not clone Pierluigi Collina? Love that guy. Would be calm as, but the moment anyone stepped up to him, he wouldn't hold back. I don't think that would be tolerated now. Do you? Like, I think managers and fans would... They would say that was like bullying and all sorts now. I feel like that would be, without sounding like Sean Dyche, absolute woke nonsense. Utter woke nonsense. I think he'd get called out for that now, Collina. The world's very, very different. I liked Pierluigi Collina, but yeah, I don't think there's any chance that he would be able to square up to players and push him and put his head in the face and all that sort of stuff. He'd get binned off. You'd get referees complain. I mean, look at Bruno Fernandes the other week against Fulham. That referee didn't even mean to barge into him. He was just walking away and his shoulder sort of knocked him. Bruno Fernandes did a full-on interview after the game talking about it. Can you imagine if if the ref had gripped Bruno Fernandes and shoved him? Like, he'd have been absolutely... His head had gone. I am Crute. Could you imagine Bruno Fernandes trying to square up to Collina? Thomas says, and Napoli, but Roma have done quite a few. Stab it. Well, yeah, the famous Puncicata. If you can Google that, Puncicata, Puncicate. Puncicata is it's what they do to away fans in Rome. And we was very, very careful of it when we went watching Liverpool against Roma. Very, very cautious of it. It's a very subtle across your bum. Joe, Bruno had enough time to prepare for the pen anyway. Yeah, exactly. He had no excuse, did he? Steve McNair lost the under 4.5 in the Italy game with 2 stoppage time goals. I am Crute. I remember the Liverpool v Roma semi-final. The lad who got beaten up. Yeah, Sean Cox. Yeah, poor lad. Still in a very bad way. Well, it's half-time here now. Senegal 2, Sudan... Half-time. Full-time. Senegal 2, Sudan 0. Senegal heading back towards the top of the qualifying group for the FIFA World Cup. So, a better game for them. And unfortunate for Sudan, but still, they'll kick on. Sudan, it's still been a good qualifying campaign for them so far, and they've got a big game next week as well. Joe, that's why I'm careful when picking Champions League away days. Glad I got Leverkusen, they're decent. Yeah, Leverkusen's a great away trip. They sing, I'm sure they play Rocking All Over the World. My dad went to Leverkusen away when Liverpool played there in 2005. Rocking All Over the World. Joe, I love the German ultra scene as well. The flags are unreal. Yeah. Yeah, they're cool, the German fans. A lot more accommodating anyway. I Am Crew 2 will be the new Leverkusen manager. Heard rumours of Poch. I can't see Poch leaving the US. I think if anyone's going to take that German job, I think there's a few options there, but do you know what? I think Ange wouldn't be a bad option. Ange Postecoglou wouldn't be a terrible option at all. Apparently Marco Silva's on about leaving Fulham. Now, Marco Silva would be a great option for thingy as well. For Leverkusen. Marco Silva's being linked with Nottingham Forest this week. But yeah, I do. I think Marco Silva would be a really good option for Leverkusen. He's a great manager. Right, well, that is us done for the night. Superstar. Love it, mate. Absolutely. You didn't have to do that. You really didn't have to do that. That's very, very kind of you, though. As always, I really, really do appreciate the super chat. It's very kind of you. But I'll be live tomorrow anyway. Hopefully you'll be back for that. Pup Ange for Rangers. Barry Ferguson for Rangers. Get Gerrard back in. He'll be ready for the job soon. Lee, Jose Mourinho, Faye for Notts Forest. Joe, do Barca even have fans, or is it just your Mal fanboys? Well, like, listen, I'm getting myself off to bed early tonight. I think I'm gonna have an early night because I'm up tomorrow for a long day of football watching. We've got Newport County against Bristol Rovers, 3 o'clock. I don't know which game I'm gonna do at 3 yet. I'm tempted by Doncaster against Bradford. Or maybe Plymouth against Stockport. I think it's one of those two at this moment in time. It's either Doncaster against Bradford or Plymouth against Stockport. Maybe Lincoln against Wigan. Could be any of them. Gateshead watch along. I can't do Gateshead. I will do one day, I promise for you, Joe. We'll do a Gateshead watch along. But I've got to try and accommodate. So I think Lincoln against Wigan could be good. Huddersfield against Posh could be good as well. There's about 4 games there that I'm kind of toying with, so I might even end up doing a flip of a coin during the... Should we do that? Should we do a flip of a coin during the Newport County v Bristol Rovers game? No, I've got to prepare sooner than that. I've got to do the thumbnail for it and everything. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I'll be live at 12 tomorrow, and then I'll be live at 3. And then I'll be live at 5, England, Andorra. So I'm pretty much live all day anyway, from about 12 o'clock all the way through to about 7. So if you want to join me tomorrow, even if you just want to pop in and out, I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, have a lovely Friday night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take it easy. Have a nice night.